Did the Biden administration go too far in requiring employees of large companies to get the COVID vaccine? The Supreme Court is now taking up this hot-button issue.
The mandate being challenged would compel companies with more than 100 workers to either require employees get the vaccine or get weekly testing. News 8's Richard Allen has more.
If this mandate stands, OSHA could start issuing citations by early February. But the Supreme Court's conservative majority made it clear today it is skeptical of this vaccine or testing requirement imposed by the federal government.
The bottom line question in this case is who gets to decide when you're talking about mandating vaccination.
The court's conservative justices indicated the Biden administration overstepped its authority in determining that a 1970 federal law gives OSHA the power to issue emergency rules for workplace safety when it comes to this vaccine or testing requirement.
It appears that the federal government is going agency by agency as a workaround to its inability to get Congress to act.
There is no broad grant of authority in OSHA to regulate public health generally, and that's at least what the conservative justices seem to be focused on.
Legal analyst Dan Eaton points out this authority would more likely fall to individual states or to private companies. The Supreme Court's liberal justices, though, seem to side with the need for this mandate to respond to the COVID public health crisis.
Tell me what's irrational about rules of that nature when it is the workplace that puts you into contact with people that will put you at risk.
People are dying, and we ought to defer to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration and its expertise in workplace matters when it decides this is the right way to go about this.
Eaton says whichever way the court rules, it will have huge consequences. If it upholds the mandate, unvaccinated workers could leave their jobs in droves.
If the court strikes it down, then you have the persistence of unvaccinated individuals in the workplace with all the consequences that entails. But either way, the stakes are very dramatic.
The court appeared less divided on a separate case heard today on requiring health workers who work at facilities receiving federal funding to be fully vaccinated. And the Supreme Court is expected to rule on these cases quickly, possibly as soon as next week.